if you say free of charge,
course,
I
free of
don't.
charge.
But if we are in a relationship, I mean, there's love,
Like
there's
I said, what
commitment.
relationship is that? Is it marriage? Dating simply you are assessing yourself to check whether you can take that relationship to the next level. It's just like meeting right now.
It means we shouldn't give ourselves when.
No, it's wrong. That's why we are having the whole concept wrong. Cheating is never in marriage. You're not supposed to give yourself to the person. Can you imagine? Let me say this. So I normally tell women that thing in between your legs is a trophy for a matured man. You understand? So now that person now needs to be matured and now win a battle before you give it. So can you imagine, as a city, I'm a supporter of protocol. Now this Premier League that they've started, can you imagine, I say, okay, I am in charge of, let's say, GFA. Oh, I think, protocol is actually going to win. Looking at their form and they are going to, so protocol take the trophy.
Right.
Just even before the competition, and then if I can't support to win, where do I go now? Am I now going to protest? Please, I told you guys were going to win. Now that you didn't win, that's what many women have done. You are supposed to give that to your husband, a matured man, among all the men who came around you. That one who was so matured to make you a wife. That is a trophy for him. Now you give it to a boy just because you think I love him. How you get to the point? Or end up sleeping with another woman. It's just a cue. The same way you gave in, another person is giving.
Wow.
Cheating down, but when it comes to cheating, it's not even, don't even bring it down to a relationship or dating. No, it is only in marriage that you can. Why? Because that is where you've made a commitment to something. You understand? Marriage is a commitment.
Right.
That I have agreed and I've decided to be with Lebanon in good times, in bad times. I've agreed to share my emotional and everything with you. That's so when you now go ahead and you say, like, let me also say this. When God designed marriage, he made certain pronouncements.
Yeah.
You understand? When you read 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 3, he said, what? Let the husband, so the one who has the power, the authority, to render to the wife the affection due her is the husband. And let the wife also render to the husband same. So the one who needs to satisfy you emotionally is your husband.
It's your husband.
You understand? So we need to understand some of this thing before we even now, like we are a young girl crying, and my boyfriend has cheated on me. No. No. Nobody cheats on you in a relationship.
Apostle, is love enough? Is love ever enough in relationships or in marriages?
You see, it's simple and straightforward answer that I will give. Love is enough. But unfortunately, what the youth call love nowadays is not love. It's not anything close to love.
Wow.
Yes. Well, because I mean, an average person don't even understand his makeup or her makeup. God created us with a lot of chemicals and hormones. So just as I see Lebanon, right, you see, as human beings, I think that attracts us. Yeah. There are some men, when they see a black lady or a dark lady, that's where the attraction is. You understand? There are some men, when they see a fair lady, then that's why. So there's something that attracts us. Now, when you see somebody where that attraction is there, where you're having a meaningful conversation with the person, there are chemicals in your brain that begins to draw. We call it dopamine. It makes you feel good about the person. You understand? So the moment that person is close to you, you feel so happy. You become passionate about the person. When the person is not around you, you begin to experience what you call withdrawal syndrome. You feel you feel like there's something is not right. When you see the person's phone or the call, then you're like, wow, you are happy. It's just passion, it's just a feeling. That is not love. But unfortunately, we assume that is love because, yeah, the vibe is there. You know, this lady, when I meet her, what I feel. What you are feeling is normal. And you can't even worse when you have sex with a person.
Right.
Which when you sleep with somebody, you bring out oxytocin. And that bonds us together. This is what sex before marriage is so dangerous. It's just like putting a paper on a super glue. It attached to it. So when that person don't marry you, yes, you can remove it. But you see, when you get to another person, that it cannot stick like that. That's why there are many people in relationship right now. Their husbands and their wives are paying for their problems that their exes have caused in their lives. Why? Because they were bonded somewhere. They kept on removing, and now that thing is taken. They are just in the relationship because it's a to-do. I'm growing, I have to give birth, and I can't give birth outside marriage. So at least my fan is any man that comes. So that most women are married to men that they don't even. You understand? But that affection, beyond that affection, you need to develop to call love. Love is a decision. Love is a commitment. So I tell people, you don't just marry the one you love, but you must love the one you marry. How? You take a decision, and you can only tell or say that you love somebody after you have assessed the person, to know the person's strength and weakness. So let me say this. If any man wants to you right now and say, I love you, it means that person doesn't even understand love. So no one can open his mouth to say, I love somebody until you know the person's strength and weakness.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what today many people go around and say, I don't think. Why love is a complex product. You understand? When you read the Bible, it tells you it brings about 13 ingredients. So what I'm saying, when I meet Lebene, before I can tell you, Lebene, I love you, it means it's a decision. I've made a decision that Lebene, I'm going to be patient. Love is patient.
Yes.
I'm going to show kindness to you, but also love is kind. So the ingredient I'm putting together. And I can only say this when I have discovered your strength and weakness. And love is made perfect in weakness. Right now, if I do something wrong right now, and say, Pastor, I have a pound, but because of the love. Your love is always made manifest or perfect in the weakness of the person. So today, most of the youth, they come together because they are feeling the passion. There's this love. There's one time because when the person that one or two things, say, that's what the Bible can tell you. Love does not fail. It's a commitment. You sit down to say that I'm ready to accommodate everything about Lebene. It's a decision. You made that decision. So most people today are in relationship that they don't even understand the component of love. When you get to this stage, I can tell you, it has everything to sustain marriage. It has everything to sustain. There's nothing that Lebene will do that can take you out. Like Sakwa, dear son in the Sansara, Ushuba. That's the definition of love.
Right.